Hey guys, welcome to your favorite late night sessions with your one and only Bean. Uh, Crazy that this is the first episode of the year, given that we're late into September. But something is better than nothing, and give your girl a little grace. Yeah. I hope everyone has been doing well. I hope everyone has been having an amazing year. And if not, don't give up hope. It's yet to get better. So, this is a bit of a long chat. So, grab your tea, grab your juice, grab a beverage, grab something to do, and just let this play in the background and enjoy the conversation. And yeah. Anywho, we are joined today by a multi talented, multifaceted, creative South African actor, voice artist, presenter, and musician. Mr. Sisa Hewana, with well over a decade of industry experience. And we are so grateful that he's here to chat with us today and shed some light into an industry that he's been in for so long and share some nuggets of wisdom about his journey and his navigation of the film industry and the entertainment industry as a whole. So, some of you the legends and the seasoned soapy heads, like myself, may know him from back in the day as Mr. Ace Kumbuzo Nzimande on Isitingo. Fossil years ago.
Right.
And a good chunk of you actually may actually know him or actually have a borderline toxic love hate situation with him as the current character Hlathi Mabandla on Inimba. But either way, we love him and we are so grateful that he's here today. And I don't speak for myself when I say it's really an honor to have this opportunity to sit down and, pick your brain on some film conversations. So, Mr. Mabanj, Mr.
Mhm.
Hewana, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. That was an interesting intro. You brought me back to those days, the Isidingo days. My word.
Right?
Hmm.
So let's get to know you a little bit better.
Okay.
How are
No
you
problem.
today? How's your day going, first of all?
My day's been so busy. My day's been so busy.
Hectic.
Yeah. I had one of my son's concerts today, so I had
Mm-hmm.
to. So I was watching him perform. From there, I had to go to other errands. And yeah, make sure I was ready for this for this amazing opportunity.
Thank you so much. But it sounds like you had a great
Mhm.
start to the day. A concert on a Friday morning. It's
I
nice.
know, right? You know what, though? You know what? I'm not like a child concert fan.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not. So, so I was dreading it this morning. But you know what? But when I got there, oh man, I'm so glad I went. It was so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's one of those
I
things,
think also just the pride of being a parent also just covers everything else.
Yeah, and just seeing children on stage and how they express themselves. It was so ironic,
Yeah.
because sometimes I don't think about it. I don't think that's where people's talents are forged. Do you know what I mean?
That's where
That's
you also
where
started. Yeah.
I know, right? But I take it for granted, you know what I mean? Like, because I'm always working. And I
Yeah.
forget where it all started. So yeah.
That's true. That's true. So give us a bite size, Jay, about yourself, your background, for those that may not know you.
My background, Sisa Hewana. I was born in the early 80s, man. Yeah. Uh, I was born in the early 80s, and I was born in Durban, funny enough. People don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm marinated in a beautiful Zulu womb by the lady of Lindi Dube. That's my mom. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Oh
from
wow, your
there,
mom's a dube. I'm a dube.
I know, right? You know what? When I saw your name, that's when I was like,
Babe, I have to take this
this is,
conversation.
yeah, I have to. I was like, okay, this is my sister I'm talking to. So, yeah, so it's like, okay,
Exactly.
let me accept it. This is my first podcast. You know, like I don't do these things. You know, I don't really.
Really? Oh no,
I
thank you so
don't.
much for allowing this to be your
Yeah.
first platform.
So when I saw your surname, I was like, okay, let me take this one. This one, yeah,
Yeah, I might
maybe,
as
maybe.
well take my sister's opportunity as the first
You
one.
know what I mean? And so that's where I was born. You know, I was born in Durban, but I
Mm,
grew up in Port Elizabeth, Epai,
okay.
you know,
Hmm.
which is now called Pabeka. My dad, Mbulelo Hewana, that's where he's from.
Okay.
So yeah, so I used to come up to Durban, you know, during holidays after my dad passed. So I was brought up by my grandparents,
Hmm.
Umakhulu noTata Makhulu, and I grew up with my cousins. You know,
Yeah.
I'm giving you a history here. I hope we have time.
Yes, we are here for it.
Yeah, yeah. You know, so I grew up with my cousins. They are my brothers and sisters, you know, so to speak.
Yeah.
So I grew up. I was raised by my grandparents. Very Christian background, but also Xhosa traditional background as well.
Hmm.
So with that, and also my Zulu background, you know, with my mom. So that was basically me. And I was never really into the arts per se,
Yeah.
but yeah, but I love sports. You know, growing up at school, I love sports, and also I love playing. You know,
Mm.
I love
Mm.
playing. I love role playing. I love experiencing life. You know, like different aspects of life, meeting people from different backgrounds, and I love the
Yeah.
human psyche as well. You know, so I grew up as a very curious child. I was
Hmm.
always curious about who I was, um, where I came from, what life is about,
Yeah.
and yeah, you know, how people think, why people do the things they do. So I was always fascinated by that. I was always fascinated by the human psyche, just the human being itself, and life in general. You know. So I
Yeah.
think, yeah. So finished high school. I wanted to be a chartered accountant.
The
I
The African dream.
know, right? So especially then, you know, I thought being like chartered accountant was the thing. Like I was like being a doctor, like probably in the 70s, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I wanted to be a chartered accountant. I was very good at accounting actually at school.
Wow.
I think yeah, I was very good at accounting and maths. I think I got like 97% for accounting actually.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was very good
Comfortable.
at it. I was very good at it. So and I wanted to make my parents proud.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, but there was always just that, that, that thing inside of me, you know, that just wanted to
Mm.
play. You know, I always wanted to
Mm.
play. I never really took life mentally seriously, but
Yeah.
yeah, I always wanted to do different things. You know, I wanted to do so
Mm.
many things. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a chartered accountant. Yeah, I wanted to do so many things. The bad ones coming out
And I guess
saying no.
when you say you loved playing and like being just discovering the human psyche, I guess that's what it was masked as. Wanting to
Yeah,
be these different roles, yeah, like just tap into different things and different people.
so true, you know. So, but obviously at the time I didn't know what it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and my mom was never gonna allow me to do
I was about to say, you were fine on the track of being an accountant.
that. Yeah, you know what I
When you
mean? Like
now want to divert and do arts
right?
and culture, that's not gonna put food on the table.
Not at all, you know. And the funny thing is, my mom would always say, like every time I'd say, "Hey, mom, you know, I'm thinking, man, you know, maybe I should do arts, you know, maybe I should do music, you know, and things like that." My mom is like, "Hey, I'm a fundanga now, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, damn,
Exactly.
man, okay, I guess that's out of the
Yeah.
question. But fast forward, man, many years later, I think when I started working, uh, I wasn't working as an accountant. I quit that dream and I became I wanted to explore, you know, I wanted to find myself. So I took a
Yeah.
job at a warehouse, a particular warehouse. And in this warehouse I was working at, I was a packer. So a packer
Mm-hmm.
is basically the people who take orders from different. I don't want to call this the store by name, but they have different stores. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So so each store makes an order, and then the packer, what they do is so they prepare the order for that particular store. Do you know what I
Okay,
mean?
so you basically
So that,
sort out the orders
pretty
according to
much,
the where
yeah.
they're supposed to go. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I did. That was my first job ever. And
Okay.
upon doing this job, I always just wanted to play. You know, while I was doing the job, I was always role playing.
Yeah.
And one of my colleagues was like, "Man, are you an actor or something? What's going on with you?" You know? I'm like, "No, I'm not an actor. You know, this is just who I am." I
That's the
didn't
thing
laugh.
with
I didn't
talent.
laugh
Other
much.
people can see it, but you can't.
I
You, the
couldn't see
talented
it.
one,
You
can
know what I
never
mean?
really
I
see
couldn't
it.
see it. Yeah. So I did many other jobs after that, and I couldn't stay like I couldn't stay a year at any job that I
Yeah.
did. Do you know what I mean? Like I did a job, like I'm saying, I was a packer. I did
Mm-hmm.
another job where I was a delivery driver for a particular electrical company, and
Yeah.
even there, you know, like I didn't last. I didn't last long, and after that, I went into banking
Mm.
in the
You were
loans
everywhere.
department. No, you know, I'm trying to paint a picture for you.
I'm trying.
So
I'm also trying to pin it down to one industry. No, you were everywhere.
no, no,
Like.
no, no. Imagine after that, I went into banking, did personal loans, and after doing personal loans, I transitioned to home loans, and then
Mm-hmm.
this particular bank, and then after that, I became a consultant for an insurance company.
Okay.
But guess what? So all these jobs, so what they did for me was they literally put me in different situations, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I met
Yes.
so many people. And upon
Yeah.
meeting so many people, I learned a lot from all of them, really. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And, and so by the time I had an opportunity to come to Joburg for did this interview with no, not an interview, an audition for a
Mm-hmm.
talent search. So by the time I did that, I had all of this experience. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of playing so many roles in different industries, meeting so many people, transitioning, growing up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just being put in different situations and in different scenarios. It was
And it was your
preparing.
life. Like it was your
Yeah,
daily bread. So,
for me, I thought I was just living, but in actual fact, I
yeah.
was just being prepared. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Uh,
Mm.
yeah, I think, you know, like God, the creator, my ancestors, or whoever,
I was
and my
about to
guides.
say, God putting the puzzle pieces together and you're
Yeah,
unaware.
you know what I'm saying? So it's so funny. Even this morning, one of the meditative thoughts that I had was whatever I'm doing right now, I don't know what
Mm.
it's for, you know, but
Yeah.
it's for something.
Yeah.
It's for something. It's preparing me for something. And so,
Exactly.
yeah, so as we're having this conversation, I'm realizing it even now, like that everything that I did then, it was preparing me to meet a lot of people and to live, you know, and to have different experiences. So that
Yeah.
by the time I had, let's say, a character brief, or by the time I have to portray someone, I already have life experience. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm not just
Mm.
doing it from the
You're not
perspective.
just reading a script and then trying to come up with something. It's something that you've lived and you know the ins and outs
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, you know, and also it's not
Yeah.
also by the book. It's not just techniques. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
pretty much, I don't know. I don't know what I didn't touch on, but that's pretty much me. You know, I just grew up
Mm.
like a normal South African, I guess. Was born in the early '80s.
Yeah, I know. Your life, like how you describe even how you grew up and the things that you're interested in. I mean, it all just points to the career that you're in right now. You were
Yeah.
just not aware of it.
Right?
Yeah. So when you look back, can you say maybe you used to watch TV or like watch movies and have people that would mm, influence you, or like kind of people that you feel like would relate to this wanting to be in different characters in different roles, even in general life? Are there people that you can say this person knows what I'm talking about, or this person can just change into different people, and like they mold into characters so easily, the way I feel like I do in my head, although I'm not an
Mm.
actor kind of vibe? Is there someone who was like that for you?
No. Funny enough, there was absolutely no one. There was no. I wish there was, but there wasn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was literally the odd crowd, in the
Mm,
class.
mm.
I was always that person or that guy who, whenever I found myself in a group of people, they could
Yeah.
never they could never pinpoint me, and box me into, the type of person that I was.
Yeah.
So I always found myself to be unique, and I always stood out, from the crowd,
Mm, mm,
because I was always the kind of person who always wanted to find out why something
mm.
happened, why
Yeah.
if even at school I was like that, if we were instructed to do something, I would always ask why. Why must we do this? What's the outcome?
Mm.
Why must we go to school? I wanted to find that
Yeah.
out. I didn't understand it. I'm like,
Why
why?
must
Why
we find X in math?
yeah,
Why?
why? Yeah, what's the point of this? What are we trying to
Yeah.
get to? But obviously,
Exactly.
that's not the kind of mind they want at school. At school, they want you to go
No,
to.
definitely not. You're challenging the system.
Yeah, no,
You're challenging the system. That's why teachers would always round everything to the nearest. You will need it later on in life.
So I was always like that. So there was never really anyone around me per se who was like that. And even on
Mm,
television, I think maybe the people that let's say maybe around maybe teenage years, the people that
mm-hmm.
I admired were comedians,
Yeah.
because they could get on stage and literally narrate something and play different characters while they're playing those characters. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
so I
Yeah. Yeah.
was so for me, I related to that. When I used to see people like David Cameron and other comedians, like
Yeah.
American comedians, Jamie Foxx. I know Jamie Foxx can imitate anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
So
think
so
that's what
those
also makes them great actors.
yeah, because they can find something
Your
within
Eddie
themselves.
Murphys. These people are they're clowns, but it makes it easier for them also to just interchange character.
Yeah. So I remember even SABC1, they used to have the Pio Monate show. I used to love that
Mm.
show. Yeah, where they would act like different scenarios, playing different characters.
Yeah.
Um, you know what I mean? So I used to enjoy that. But at the same time, I used to watch, your soapies. I remember like
Hmm.
growing up in the 90s was a very interesting time where television wasn't really monitored, where you
No.
used to watch soapies, you know, and we were pretty much
Exactly.
engaged to watch Bold and the Beautiful and
Exactly.
you know, and even the kind of music they used to promote back in the day, R&B. When you listen to that shit now, you go, what were we listening to? What is
What
going
was I singing along to at 9?
on? So it's the same thing when I watch Bold and the Beautiful, all of these characters and even generations for that matter,
Yeah.
and Isidingo as well back in the day. I used to watch those shows, and
Mm.
yeah, but never did it click in my mind that I wanted to be an actor and that
Yeah.
acting would be an option for me.
Hmm. But I guess that's also the beauty in your story, because everyone, well, not everyone, but almost a lot of conversations that I've had, the actors knew from the get go that
Right?
they want to act, and they had their inspirations, they had their influences, and everything was in
Mhm.
line. But your story, it's how can I explain it? It is kind of like an inside out kind of thing. It's something that was in you, but you
Yeah.
you just didn't know where it fits. And when it
Yeah.
fell into place, it was like, uh-huh,
Yeah.
this is what it is. And the story is not linear, but the way it just meanders is just also interesting.
So true. So
So,
interesting.
um, yeah, you currently play a very interesting role. Would love to know.
Interesting is a nice choice of words.
To be politically correct, please. Because I can tell you for free. You have not even nationally, you have us globally grinding our teeth. No way.
Oh my
I
word.
know. Forest is just pipe. And I would love to know, how did you step into Shati's role? Because I always get so worked up about this character. And I have to remind myself, Wuti, no, wait, this is a show. Relax, Nkosi, it's a show. It's not real. It might be someone's reality out there, but it's just
Mm,
a show. Breathe. You
mm,
know? And I know for a
mm.
fact I'm dead of, because if you go on TikTok, if you just go on TikTok, if you have TikTok, there's a lady called Sibolele Pagamisa who does Inimba episode reviews, and we hate you over there.
I
We
believe
hate you. We celebrate your downfall over there, and there's imaginary plot twists and predictions. It's a whole community. Like, you've brought people
what?
together.
What is it? What? Okay, who's this? Like, what is it called?
Look for a lady called Sibulele Pagamisa.
Sibulele Palamis. Okay, I'll look
Please,
for her.
you will enjoy it. I
Where's
promise
this?
you. You
Where's
will
this
enjoy her
TikTok?
reviews.
Okay, cool.
But
I'll look for it. I'll look
also
for
the
it.
ability to the ability to bring people together and pull that kind of raw emotion from us. I guess it just speaks to your talent as well, and the way you step into your character and embrace it so much. I mean, it should be a case study, Shem. How do you do it? How? I'd love to know.
First of all, thank you so much. I appreciate your kind words. Everything you said
No,
about Shante and everything.
the words were
Wow,
not
that's
kind,
nice.
but the crux of it, I was here to give you your flowers. Like, I'm here to give you
Thank
your
you.
flowers.
Wow, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
If no one
It's so
has done
funny.
it today, I'm giving you your flowers.
Wow, thank you, because I appreciate it. You know what? It's so funny. The character of Fatima.
Yeah.
I remember last year, I think around October, so 2024. So
Hmm.
I got the brief for the character, but I wasn't interested in it. Funny enough, you know.
No way.
I know, right? So when I read the brief, I thought, oh, I want to play
Mm,
chauvinist. You
yeah.
know, that was me.
How
I'm
am I
like,
gonna pull this off?
play chauvinist. Why would I want to do that? I don't want to
Mm,
do that. I don't want to portray that because
yeah.
like I think nice guys,
Mm.
fairly nice guys. Maybe like two
Fairly nice
percent.
guys. Like, just the towing the line just slightly.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
So when I saw this brief, I thought, no ways, this is too hectic. I thought, no,
Yeah.
there's no ways I would be able to, first of all, pull it off. And second
Yeah.
of all, I wouldn't want people to watch me like that. I wouldn't want
Yeah.
people to, I didn't want to be the face of, uh, someone who was chauvinistic and
No, because
someone
we
who
take it personally. Eh? We
egotistic.
take it personally.
Yes, what I mean, like I had to consider the fact that I am in South Africa at the end of the day. I'm in Africa. These images are going to be broadcast literally everywhere on the planet. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that to myself. But fast forward, I think 3 months later, I get the same
Mm-hmm.
brief. I'm like, wait, I already declined this brief. What's going on?
Yeah.
But there was something about it. I was like, okay, so I'm getting this brief for the second time. And I just postponed, I was literally looking deep within myself and asking myself those relevant questions. Do I want to
Yeah.
portray
Yeah.
this? Do I want to be seen like that? Do I want people to maybe not like me? I did not even guess the kind of response that we're getting now with Sati, I did not even think about it. I did not even guess it would get to this. My mind was just me
Yeah,
watching myself like that, and having my family watch me like that. Do I want that? Do I want to? Because,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean? And also for me, it was personal because, as a male, you know, 2024, 2025, do I want to do
Mm.
that? There's a
Yeah.
hashtag going
Yeah.
around, men are trash, blah, 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 and all
Do
these
you
things.
want to be the
Do
poster face for that? Mm.
do I want to get involved in this? You know what I mean? Because to me, at the
Yeah.
time, it was like it's one of those things. I'm like, oh no, it's distasteful. But
Mm.
anyway, but something inside me said, you know what? Just do it.
Go for it.
Something inside me said, you know what? Go for it. There's no harm in it. Instead, I think it would it would shed the light on so many things that I think maybe people want to talk about, but
Yeah.
there's no face, there's no platform. Instead,
Mm.
it's more generalized. You
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And so something inside me just resonated with the character, and also, being like I'm saying, I'm born early '80s. I was brought up by my
Mm.
grandfather and my grandmother.
Yeah.
So I saw a lot of what the character of Sati is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also in
Yeah.
terms of trying to transition from this sort of religious, patriarchal society, into a more
Mm-hmm.
equal, more feminine society. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's that for me. Those are things that I witnessed. I saw the transition happen. I saw the transition from apartheid to this brand of democracy. And do you know what I mean? So, and also
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
that, I saw women empowerment. I saw black economic empowerment. I saw all of these things. I saw all these
So
transitions, and I
it's stuff that you
saw,
could relate to.
yeah, it
Mm.
was stuff that I could relate to. I could understand the character's point of view, and I could also understand what the character didn't want to accept or didn't want to understand. Do you know what I mean? Like I could understand
Mm-hmm.
his values more than his actions. I could
Yeah.
understand
Yeah.
the values behind his actions. So that I related with. I was like, okay, you know what? My job here is not necessarily to show people what they already know, but rather to resonate deeply with the values and the principles
Mm-hmm.
that the character was probably brought up in. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the reason
Yeah.
I took on. I took on the role. I was like, you know what? Let me go for it, but let me take it
Mm.
from much deeper perspective. I'm not here to just act the character, but I'm here to
Mm-hmm.
portray what principles and values that are absolutely strong and stubborn look like.
Yeah. No, Shem, you killed it.
I'm so glad. I'm
Oh,
so
you
glad.
killed
Thank
it.
you.
Because we
Thank you
can't
so
sit
much.
here. Sometimes when you watch something, you be like at the back of your mind, yeah, yeah, he did something with the role, but I think Usman Ban would have been more aggressive with the role and done it better. But I cannot imagine another shot. Like I cannot for the life of me. Like
Oh my
that
goodness.
is
I
that
don't think it's a
it.
good thing or a bad thing. I goes there. Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, that one, It's like, I appreciate the flowers as an actor, but damn. But now I'm like,
Just look at the
wow.
positive side. Look at the bright
Okay,
side.
okay, let
Don't
me
think
see.
about how you're making us feel. Look at the bright side. Just take the damn flowers.
Okay, let me take the flowers. Okay, let me leave everything else. But
No,
thank you.
because
But
no,
thank you. I
like
appreciate it.
if you love soapies and you love telenovelas and you love movies and you just love film, you get to a point where you're like, no, this person did the things that needed to be done. They came with the pots.
Wow.
When you kill a role like that, and I don't know how every from episode to episode we are ranting about you, we are venting about you, like it personal this thing. So that speaks a lot to you and how you molded the character and made him come to life. And because we are so upset, it means that we have all experienced a shati in one way or the other, whether
Right.
from the outside or from the inside or from inside the home, or we are partly shatis, we don't know. But
Mm.
everyone has a little bit of a shati in their experience,
Mm.
because why else would we be so mad at you?
Yeah, that's
You get
amazing.
it?
Yeah, no, I get it. I totally get it because, like I'm saying, even for me, what I related with the character was his principles and his values, you know? And
Yeah,
so now,
yeah,
so which is why I think I don't really judge the character because I can't. Otherwise I wouldn't be
yeah.
able to play him. You know, I wouldn't be able to play him if you know if I thought that it was my
Now
job to
you would
judge.
water him down.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would. I would definitely want to have done. I remember the first time I watched the very first episode of Inimba.
yeah.
I was cringing in my seat. I was totally cringing. I
You
could
had an
not
out of
sleep.
body experience. Like, I cannot associate this.
Mike, I was so scared. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was cringing in my seat. I was like, what? How come no one
It's
told
not
me
me.
that this is what it looks like? You know?
Oh,
I
it's
mean,
bad.
but at the same time, though, you know what? But go see at the same time, ne, credit the creator of the show, man. Like Usipu said to Tapu. I feel like,
Yes, I was
man,
going to say the story is
man,
so beautiful. Yo, I
ah,
flowers to him. Lapho Zambona kuna, please tell him I said hi. Stellar
I
work.
will, I will definitely tell him because for me, it
Stellar
like
work.
literally, the story did not. It literally surprised me as well. You know, I remember I was having a conversation with him when I was
Yeah.
reading the first few episodes. You know, like maybe the first 20 episodes or so. He was like, I had a lengthy conversation with him. I'm like,
Yeah.
people, are you sure? Every time he says, you know, and then he does this and then do it.
The
Are you sure you
curveball.
want to do
The
this? Is this?
curveball.
I was like, wow, you know? And so, but for me, more than anything, I was trying to get to the psyche of the character, you know?
Yeah.
Trying to understand what makes him think what he's doing is okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and then that for me helped me because having an understanding that someone can be a narcissist and chauvinist and still be loving. You know, like
Yeah.
that for me,
Yeah. Yeah.
it was such a learning curve for me. You know, to go, okay, wait a minute.
And
Out
for
of all the
them,
people,
it's they don't see the wrong in it.
yes, right.
Like,
So
I
for me,
love you. Like, how do you not see that this is like, I love you? Like,
what's
you're
wrong
my
with
loving.
you?
How do you not see it?
How do you not see everything I'm doing? I'm doing it because I love you,
Like, come on. Hey, why is it so difficult to see that this is coming from a good place?
right? So, so for me with that, because a lot of times, you know what, sometimes and this is the things I say to friends and family and stuff, and I'm like, you know
Yeah.
what, every person you don't like is someone's brother, someone's sister, it's someone's
True.
child, you know, it's someone's
True.
father or mother. You know what I mean? It's someone's colleague.
There's someone who
If you
loves
have a
them
colleague,
unconditionally. Yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean? Someone loves them unconditionally. They come from a home, they come from somewhere. Someone is relating with them at a much more
Yeah.
personal capacity. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so with that in mind, I realized that a lot of the people that maybe in the past I may have judged as right or wrong, they also have a story, you know? They have a place where they
Mm-hmm.
come from. They
Mm, mm,
yeah,
mm.
and that everything they believe in and everything they stand for is based not on my perception of them, but it's based
Mm.
on what they believe is right.
It's just the tip of an ice. You're just seeing the tip of an iceberg,
Yeah, you know?
but there's more where that comes. Yeah.
Most definitely. And I think, with this story, Inimba, I think it showcases that, I love the story where Sati's family starts coming around, especially at Zoleka's place. And you begin to see
Yeah.
that Sati is not necessarily this bully that he portrays himself to be, especially where he comes from. Where he comes from, he's actually because he's the younger sibling, so he's got an older brother
Yeah.
and an older sister. And you see the
And an older
influence
sister.
that they
Yeah.
have on him. I
Thank
don't know if
you. I
you
was about
noticed
to
that.
say, like, you see where he got it.
Yeah, right? You see that no man, Ushati might be a victim of his environment more than
Thank you.
more than he is actually trying to hurt anyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
That's
so
the reality that he knows. Like, that is
yes,
his truth.
you know what I mean? And it's so funny because this show, I love this show because it brings up so many themes.
Mm.
Even the theme of family being involved in your marriage, you know?
Yes.
And,
Yes.
and it's almost funny because I think that's the last stroke for Zolega. Zolega probably thought, you know what? I'm tired of this guy. And it's not only him that I have to deal with. I have to
I
deal
mean, things
with
things
his
are not going to
family,
fall apart. Things are not going to fall apart for you if it wasn't for your sister.
right? You know
We
what I
would
mean?
have been hanging on by a thread still by now. But no, Utsiki just came and said, not under my
My
watch.
word. Oh my word. So yeah, yeah, I love the story of Inim. You
Yeah,
know what
and
I mean?
also the way the producer Usipo also just he brought back like the TV that we love, like where
Yeah,
there's not a lot of violence, there's no explicit scenes, like it's just soapies, like how we knew soapies back then, like real TV that we relate to,
yeah,
and we can
yeah,
watch with
because
our whole family, and we're not cringing, like you
yeah,
know,
and also there's no what's the other stuff like witchcraft and things like
there's
that.
no
Like it's
witchcraft,
not.
there's no blood, there's no like overly explicit scenes. It's just pure good television that has you
Yeah,
gripping the edge of your seat, and you're like, ha ha ha. And
and you know what?
when Friday comes, you're like, Haibo, when is Monday
It
coming?
is Monday. It's so funny. It's so funny because
Exactly.
like, you know what? Because like even when I watch it, I'm like that. When I watch, I'm like, it's so funny because I think they brought in really, really, really good talent. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
you all the characters. So much so when I watch, I don't see the actors. I only see the characters. Now that's when you
Yeah.
know that they've actually
Yeah.
done an amazing job. All credit to them, I promise you. And also
No,
we
the
have
casting was top tier. The
and
casting was
also the
top tier.
yeah, and also we have a creative director as well, Tandogazam Sumsa. She
Yes.
is absolutely amazing because everything that you see on screen and how it's portrayed, it's the creative director. It's the creative
Mm.
director who paints the picture of each and every character, paints the picture of
Yeah.
the story, to go, okay, this is what we're trying to portray. And even with Klati and the divorce with the Zolega,
Mm.
the brief is very clear that we're trying to portray the realities, that some people go through when they go through a
Yeah.
divorce, and the people who
Yeah.
suffer as a result of that. You know what I mean? As a result of
Yeah.
just two people, literally, who might still love each other, but they're fighting about something. You
Yes.
know? Yeah, you know what I mean?
Like you loved each other to get the government involved sharp. But now you're pulling things apart and there's so much collateral damage. Like
Yeah, the children
yeah.
suffer, and also if you watch the story, you realize that Oshati didn't really want to go through with he didn't want to fight the divorce.
No, he didn't. But it was Tulani. Chef, oh, yes,
Oh, yeah, right?
it's okay.
I
I don't
remember.
want to get into it.
Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story. So, so, so when we film, we don't
Yeah.
film in sequence.
Okay.
We don't film in sequence. So we film according to who's available, the sets that are available. And so
Yeah.
you
Okay. That's
shoot those
interesting.
particular scenes. Yeah, you shoot those particular scenes. You don't shoot them in order. So what happened was the
Okay.
scene, yeah, so the scene where Uhlati comes from Tulani, when Tulani tells him, he has to fight for what is his in Zoleka's estate. We shot that scene before we shot the scene with Tulani and Fat. So we shoot the scene with Fati
Okay.
and Zoleka, right? So,
Yeah.
so the brief is, Sati's brother told him, this is what he's got to do. He has to fight because Sati was depressed for a while, for
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
weeks. Sati was, he was basically just
In the
lounging
ghetto. In the
on his
trenches.
downfall. And so that scene was so powerful and so impactful that by the time we shot, it was weeks later, but maybe 2 weeks later, we shot the scene
Yeah.
with Usati Tula. And so now we had to tell Uzizi Peteni, which is the actor who plays Tulan, who's amazing.
Yeah. He's great.
So,
He's great.
yeah,
Like I've seen a lot of his work, and I know every time it's a wow.
yeah, yeah, I love his work. He's very chilled,
Yeah.
in his performance. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to do that. For me, my performance is off the place. So we had to show him. We had to show him the scene. So I was like, "Yo, this is the scene. This is what we shot." And he couldn't believe it. He was like, "Whoa, wait a minute!" Because he's so chilled, It's like, "Yo, bro, you have to get to a point where you have to move from depression to absolute anger and entitlement."
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, which is
Hectic.
well, which is what you saw on screen. And I remember the first time when that scene aired. I'm talking so much. And I remember when
No.
that scene, when that scene aired, the scene where Tulani convinces Slati to fight for 50% of Zoleka's estate.
Yeah.
So we're shooting that day, and he says to me, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! How come people are hating my character all of a sudden?" And I'm like, "Hey, man,
Uh
join the party. Join the party.
join
People
the
have been
welcome to my
hating my character
life.
since episode one. Like, since the dawn of the
Welcome
show, people hated my character." He's like, "No, no, no, no. That's not what I was doing. I wasn't doing that. So he's a nice guy." And I'm like, "What?
Mm-mm,
That's what
guilty
you
by
get,
association.
Yeah, it's a nice association."
Mm,
So yeah,
hectic.
it's a- yeah, man. It's. I don't even know what the question was, but anyway, but we
No,
but
no,
we got
no.
on.
We really got into it. We're talking about Jay, like the whole Slati character and how all the pieces fit together.
Oh,
And
yeah.
how the creative director managed to put everything together for it to look so great. Yeah, flowers to everybody. I wish I could just have everyone in one chat and say, "Wow,
All
guys,
right. You know what? You know
wow."
what? That would not be acceptable.
You know, I think I just need to do a group thing, and we just have like a messy conversation where it's just you know.
You
Oh
know?
no, no, the show is amazing. So, is there an element of Tlati, or like elements of his personality, of his life experience, of anything that has to do with Tlati, how he does things that you personally relate to?
Yeah, yeah.
That made
Yeah.
it even easier or harder for you to get into his character, you know?
Mm, mm. You know what? Like I said, the principles and the values that Utsati believes in, those are
Yeah.
those are the same principles and values I grew up in. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, I grew up with, like I said, with my cousins. So my
Yeah.
cousins are my brothers and sisters. So there's no
Mm-hmm.
so there's no separation there. I grew up in a community where we were one. My grandmother used to, sometimes we'd get home and you're trying to find, let's say, a pair of jeans that you own that you probably didn't wear for a while. And only to find out my grandmother gave it away to some child who needed pants, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes,
Yeah.
sometimes you come home, you find strangers at home who are enjoying a meal, And
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So things like that. I mean, the front door was always open. So the we were one as a family, we
Yeah.
were one as a community, you know. And so Sati
Mm-hmm.
believes the same thing. He believes the exact same thing. The only difference, I think,
Yeah.
is that Sati himself feels entitled to that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he feels that no, because that is the case, then he should be in charge of it, and he is entitled to that.
Yeah.
So,
And
so,
I also borderline feel like he feels like his reality is the reality. Like
yeah, it's the only reality that
it's the
exists.
only
You know what I mean?
reality that
For
makes sense.
everyone. Yeah, you know what I mean? So for me, so I relate with him and I understand that type of upbringing. But at the same time, for me, I've sort of expanded my reality. You know, my reality
Yeah.
doesn't end. It also expands, into having an understanding that, people have households, people have their
Mm.
own individual beliefs, people have their own way of doing things, people have their own way of seeing things. We all
Yeah.
have different perspectives, we are all individuals. And so, which is why community really, community is literally people who come together who may be different, but they have a common cause. You know what I mean? Not
Hmm.
necessarily just
Yeah.
about principles and values, but the common cause is humanity itself. And so that means we all have to be accommodating to one another, having different beliefs,
Yeah.
having different perspectives, and things like that. Whereas society, he's
He's
he
stuck there.
he cannot move from there. And even when he does, he's doing it just to to fulfill
It's
an
for his
agenda.
own benefit, one way or the other.
Yeah, until
Like
until it becomes
if he
somebody
sways a little bit,
else's
if he sways a little bit, is to make way for something that benefits him.
exactly.
So it's
It's
never
so funny
just to
because
accommodate the other person.
no, never, never, not with that. It's so funny. Every time I interact with the script or the story of that, I always laugh.
Yeah.
And so certain people think you might think that I agree with the way he does things. I don't. I just find him humorous. I find such a person who can't move from his own perspective. For me, it's hilarious. But to think that there
Yeah.
are people who are actually living with that reality is actually a sad thing.
It's very sad. Mm.
It is, and
Yeah.
so what I realize is that now the conversation is not general. The conversation around those things is no longer general. Now it's fact. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everyone now who watches TV and watches the show, they sort of like they have someone now. They have, which is what I was afraid of. They have a
Yeah.
particular image.
We
Okay.
now have a face for it, or at least
Yeah,
a name, which is Slat. No, you
yeah.
can't behave like Uslat. Ah.
You know what I mean? So I guess that's sort of like the responsibility of playing a role. The
Yeah.
responsibility is
Yeah.
that it is to take all these different aspects of humanity and put them in a particular character, and then that character shows it back to society and mirrors it back to say, hey, here's the thing. Here's the thing you've been talking about. Here's the thing that you've been
Yeah.
experiencing. Here's the thing that maybe you haven't had the guts to talk about, or you haven't had,
Mhm.
a chance to maybe initiate your healing. But here's the person, you can.
Yeah.
I mean, people swear at Sati. When I read the comments, I'm like, yo, I'm, I'm
Yeah, people are
amazed.
mad.
People are
People are mad.
absolutely angry. So it's
People are
fascinating when
angry. No.
very, very angry. And so and
But
so
you've
for me,
opened like Uhlati has opened doorway for the conversation to actually be had.
yeah,
And
right.
he has mirrored this too. There's some people who are they're in murky waters, they're in tough situations, but because maybe they don't have a community that's an outlet for them, they're suffering in silence. But now when they watch such things on TV and they're like, how? So this is you're mirroring back the situation to them, and it's like, so this is what I'm
Mm,
going through, and this is how I should. take it or can act about it or can express it or talk about it or yeah, you just you it's not like it's a secret in the dark anymore. And for someone, you are basically placing a mirror in front of them to say, hey, this is the man that you're living with.
mm,
Is it right? No.
mm,
Is it wrong? No. Or
mm,
like, how does Zolega deal with Ehlat? Or how does Yanga deal with having a father like Ehlat? You
mm.
know?
Yeah.
And there's something to learn in every episode. It's like, okay, this is how I can go about it. Oh, okay, this is how I can, okay. So this is not necessarily healthy. Okay. Because it's
Mm,
not everyone that can sit down and be open and have a conversation about something that they're going through. And they may not necessarily know that it's shady, but
mm.
when you now see it being portrayed, it's like, wait a minute. And only then does
Eh,
it land.
yeah. And also, this is me.
Yeah. Or this
Yeah,
is
you can
me. And
also.
I
Yeah.
think I'm loving the people the right way, but it's not coming across. Like,
Yeah. And for me that's probably one of the lessons that I learned from playing this role is that
yeah.
just because if I think I'm right about something, right? And let's say I really am. I say two plus two is four.
Mm,
So I know I'm right. Two plus two is four. But let's say, for example, the people around me, they say it's six.
yeah.
How do I deal with that? How do I go
How
about
do you
that?
deal with that?
You know?
Yeah.
And so for me, this role has taught me that even if I'm right and I know I'm right, I can allow other people to say it's six. I
Yeah.
don't have to. I don't have to fight them. You
Because
know what
from
I
where
mean?
I'm standing, I'm seeing a 9. From where you're standing, you're seeing a 6.
Yeah,
Just
you know what I mean.
perspective thing,
And it
you
is
know?
what even if I'm right, even if I know I'm right, I
Yes, you're
absolutely
right.
know I'm right. Yeah,
And you're not,
but at the same,
in your perspective, it's a 6. But
yeah,
look at things from my side, it's a 9, you know? And it's allowing for that, like expanding yourself and allowing for someone to bring their reality into yours, and we see where we midpoint where we meet.
yeah, yeah. So
But
so that's the
hey,
thing
okay,
for
yeah,
me.
enough about him. I'm all
Yeah,
up in my feels now.
enough, enough for real. But then again, it shows how impactful the story is. I was about to ask you
Yo.
before we
So in
transition from Inimba,
yeah,
in terms of what Inimba actually means.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because Inimba usually you use it to describe the connection that you have with your child. Mostly it's used for mothers because mothers are considered to be nourishing, or what's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah. Mm.
Uh, there's a word for it.
Nurturing.
Nurturing. Thank you. So
Yes.
that's basically your Inimba that's calling you to nurture your children or to nurture your child. And so that's pretty much what the whole story is about.
Mm,
It's that
mm,
connection. But then the question begs, but inimba of a father, what is that? So I think
mm,
that's the catalyst of the
mm.
whole
Okay.
story. Every single thing that you see that's happening is about
Okay.
finding out that question. The question is, inimba of a father, what is it?
Because initially I thought maybe the storyline, when I started watching it, I thought maybe it was going to be more Zolega centered, because
Mm.
that's how it also kicked off. She left her kid, but then it changed. And thanks for actually highlighting that it is also like tapping more into Inimba of the father. If that's
Yeah.
even a conversation that people even have.
Very, very much because every single thing that the character of Shati is doing, he's doing it for his legacy. He's doing it for his children. He's doing it for future generations in his mind. You know what I mean?
Yes,
That's
I
that's
was
pretty
about to
much
say.
so,
Yeah,
so he's influenced. So he's influenced by that. Even him leaving Tumaga and going to Zoleg, in his
yeah.
mind, he's doing it Yes, for himself, but for his
but for
children.
Kawe and for
Yes,
and any
you know
future
what I
children
mean?
that he was gonna have with Uzolega. Yeah.
Most definitely. Even the child he wanted with Zolega. You know,
Mm,
he wanted that. He wanted the legacy. He wanted the family, which is why he wanted to even take the children from Tumeka to come and live with him with Zolega. So, you know,
mm,
which tells you, and he didn't want to have Istembu. He didn't want to have both wives. So, which tells you that behind his selfish acts are actually values and principles, but he hides
yeah.
that. You know what I mean? But he highlights those, but hiding it behind, being a chauvinist, being, narcissistic, and all of those other things.
Shem, I don't
Okay,
think
we
he
can.
hides it. Like he just can't help himself.
Yes, yes. That's pretty much what I'm
Like
saying. Yes. He can't help himself.
he's
He can't
really
help
just
himself.
he's doing what he knows best, and he
Yeah,
can't help himself. Like when he tries to communicate one thing, another thing overshadows that. But it's in his build, nje, yena.
yeah. She's just like that. And I think
Yeah,
maybe that's the reason why the character is resonating so much, with people who are watching.
yeah.
Okay, we
And
can move on.
unlearning all of that at his age. Yo, guys, it's like sometimes let's have grace. The poor
Wow.
man cannot start
Mm.
unlearning all those things. Yo, why? But
Wow, that's so interesting.
anyway,
Okay. It's interesting you say that.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. All
No,
right.
like, cause really, if we really truly sit down and think about it, unlearning all of that for Uhlati, first of all, he has to unlearning means first of all he has to come to a point where he's self-introspecting to say, okay, this is wrong.
Mm.
And for someone who has believed that to be his Bible truth all his life, and that's what his family believes, that's what his siblings believe, that's the life that he's known. And it's not like we are coming at him with love to say, no, Shati, look, no, we are
Yeah.
coming guns blazing to say this is
Yes.
off.
Coming
So
with the same
already,
energy he's bringing.
yes, human nature will say, I'm gonna be defensive because you want to accept me to accept your truth, but you're not hearing my truth. So I'm going to be defensive. So that makes the process of unlearning difficult.
Uh,
And it's not like that he has someone who is neutral, who's not a Tulani, who'll sit down with him and say, look here, man, this is not the way to go about things, you know?
that's a good
So
that's a good perspective. I like that. I like that analogy.
I'm just
Because
trying to show you that, Shem, I don't hate Sati.
no, I'm glad. I'm glad because you know what? Because for me, I feel like that was basically for me the whole point of taking the role and the whole point of playing him. Because
Yeah.
because that was my intention. Instead of playing him like he's actually doing all of the things that he's doing deliberately.
No, Shem, I just think he's a default villain. But
Wow.
there's no platform for him to even introspect or like
Yeah.
for anyone to even mirror his actions to him. It's not there. Like people are coming at him
Mm.
guns blazing. So
Mm.
how is he going to get to that point where he like puts all his weapons down and he's like puts his guard down and he's like, okay, this I agree is off. Let's unlearn it.
Yeah.
Maybe if
Yeah.
Zolega had been a bit more relaxed, but she was also dealing with how that he had hurt her in the past. It's
Yes,
it's
of
a lot.
course.
It's a lot. She
Do
was
you
also
think?
retaliating, so she
Mm.
couldn't be that safe space for him to reflect and become a better man for her.
Mm.
You know,
That is so true. That is so true. No,
he needs
go figure.
therapy.
Okay. Yeah. That is. I'm so glad actually that the intention behind the way that I chose to perform it is actually reading. Like you
No,
probably
it
you,
is.
you are probably like one of a very, very few people to say that about the character.
No, because if we really sit down and are honest with ourselves, I'm sure everyone thinks the same thing. But because
Yeah.
we're also mad at how stubborn he is, we're just like,
Mm.
hi. Even if I was to go to Shati and say you need therapy, that you would that will take lightly to that.
See
So
how
Manja, where
amazing.
do I start?
I think you're crazy.
He's like, you're telling me I'm crazy. Nah, I need a shrink. Soze. Soze. I'm not doing it. So that's what makes people
Definitely.
mad. They're like, even if I want to
Wait.
help that,
Oh
is
my
he
word.
going to be receptive?
Chati, Chati would first of all, Chati would go to Tulani and say that. And Tulani would say that person
Exactly.
is crazy.
No. So that's why people are mad because they're like, that won't even be receptive to any advice. So Masi again,
Uh,
let's leave him to his own devices because what? You know?
oh my word. Yeah.
Hi, yeah. Anyway, moving swiftly along. On to like more serious things. What's
Mm,
your opinion, or how do you feel about the current state of, the South African film and television industry? Or like
mm,
rather, you've been in it for so long. How have you seen it change? Is it for better? Is it for worse?
mm. Oh, that's a loaded question. Because there's so many aspects to it.
Mm,
There's an overall sort of industry, you know, uh, which
yeah.
has which is not perfect, and I don't think any industry is. However, it does have its own shortfalls, uh,
Mm,
good and bad. There are good and bad things happening in the industry. I think for me, quality-wise, I think the industry has been able to improve the
yeah.
quality of the quality of the product is amazing. I kid you not.
Mm, mm.
Yeah, I really, really think so. I think our shows, they look absolutely stunning.
No, I agree.
Yeah, and I think also the level of performance from the writing, the directing, acting, um, post-production, I think it has
Mm,
really, really improved. And thanks to, I would say, more work has been done in this industry, I think, now
yeah.
than any other time. So the more people practice their art, the better they become, because art is not
Yeah.
it's not just a talent. You have to really invest in it and really and hone in and make it a skill, you know.
Yeah. True.
So
True.
I think that in the industry that is definitely improved. That is for the
Mm,
yeah, that's definitely amazing. That's good. At the same time, you find that there are certain laws that haven't caught up with that, you know?
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you find that, yes, I mean, we even have Hollywood productions that are being shot in South Africa, which tells you
Yeah.
that we have the facility, we have the capabilities, and we also have the talent, the skills. So, but
Yeah.
at the same time, even though in my opinion, I think we are matching Hollywood and other industries that seem to be more international, more established, and their laws are a lot more progressive.
Yeah.
However, our laws, Tina, they haven't caught up yet,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the South African film industry, when you now match it up with, it's like a beauty without the brains.
Wow. Go see, I know I know you're on it.
No, I have an
No, you're on it.
interesting brain.
Yeah, for real. I think so. You know what I mean? Like, because I
Because
think,
when the way you just explained it, it's like, yes, we are on the same level with Hollywood. On the outside, we are
yes.
producing the same quality of stuff, and it's the same standard, but they have their laws and the background stuff on lock.
So
On the
true.
other
You know,
hand,
we
it's
we
giving
haven't
beauty
caught up
without the
yet.
brain.
Yeah, you
Mm.
know what I mean? We still have laws that were established before the industry evolved, before such like everything we're talking about hadn't happened yet. you know.
Yeah.
So you find that there are copyright laws that are in place that have been in place for decades before the industry evolved.
Decades.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So I think those laws need to catch up, you know.
Mm.
For example, if if you take a risk on a project as a performer or as anyone for that matter, and
Mm-hmm.
you put like for example with myself, I'm putting myself out there, my image, my likeness, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
is being portrayed in a particular role in a particular way. Now, if you sell that image and that likeness in another territory, surely, and you make a profit from that, surely a conversation needs to be had between the artist and either the producer or the owner of that material. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So such laws for me, they make sense. The music industry's laws have evolved to that degree. Do you know what I mean? You can't write a song with someone or have an artist or have someone portray their voice and you
Without
go
them
and
getting paid for it.
yeah, and you
Yeah.
reproduce that and you don't pay them for it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm. Mm.
So
Mm.
yeah, so it's those
And I
things,
mean,
certain
if that
things.
was the case, then it avoids a lot. Like, for example, COVID times where there was not enough work
Yeah,
to be done, and you did something pre-COVID, and it's still showing during COVID. I
there you
should be
go.
getting paid for it still. I should be able to
Yeah,
sustain myself still.
yeah, and also not because just of entitlement, okay? And this
Mm.
needs to be clear because, for example, in the advertising world, it works like that. In the advertising world, you get paid for the work that you're doing, and also you get paid for the fact that that work is being used and reproduced.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's not like we're speaking something foreign here. We're speaking something that is already in place, just not in
Yeah.
place in a particular area of the industry. For example, I'm a voice artist, voiceover
Yeah.
artist. Every
Mm.
time I do a voiceover, I get paid for the fact that I've arrived and I'm doing a voiceover in this allocated time. However, if a particular client is using that voice, not
Mm.
necessarily, let's say, for example, for their internal, um, like within their own company, but they're
Yeah.
broadcasting that voice in order to receive money, there's a separate fee for that, which is a usage
Yeah.
fee. Do you know what I mean? So it's not foreign that actors
Which
want to
makes
be
sense because I
compensated the
mean
same way.
it's your work. It's your
Yes,
intellectual property. Yeah.
very much, So yeah, so that's pretty much for me how I see how things are and how things need to improve and how they need to make sense given the quality,
Mm.
given the time that is invested. I mean, in South Africa, you have crews that are literally working minimum 12 hours a day
Yeah.
and 6 days a week on average. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even there, a conversation needs to be had.
Needs to be had. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So in all honesty, I don't have the answers, but I
Mm.
do know that there's definitely plenty of room to improve.
To improve. Yeah. And have any of these challenges personal to you?
Of
Have they
course.
been personal to you in your own career? And how did you overcome them? Or rather, how let's talk about how they impacted your mental health or your overall well-being.
Look, for me, it's I don't know. I'm not sure about, let's say, how it has impacted me in terms of my well-being per se,
Mm.
but but we're talking about, let's say, for example, if someone keeps re-showing, like let's say, for example, during COVID, like what you're saying, now you keep
Yeah.
showing all of those images, those moving images, and so basically money keeps getting made. You
Yeah.
keep making money off the same image, right? The
Let it
same
flow to me as
intellectual
well.
property. You
Yeah.
keep making money from it, but
Mm.
you sort of like damn the money when it comes to it flowing towards the artist direction. And yet, without the artist, you
Mm.
wouldn't have a product,
You wouldn't have a
right?
product, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So for me, I think, oh, I'm not the right person to say these things because for me, I'm not like a, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not a fighter, you know? I don't know how
No,
to
yeah,
fight.
yeah, I get what you mean, Shem. You don't, you, you're just like, ooh,
I'm not,
I
yeah,
was, for now, I will spectate from a distance because, yo, I don't want to get
yeah.
into it.
Yeah, which is why we have organizations like Saga, you know, South African Girls.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have people that will know how to articulate these things properly. I don't
yeah.
really, you know, because for me, like what you when you were mentioning mental health, for me that comes first, you know,
Yeah.
my mental health comes first. So every day when I wake up, you know, to the best of my ability, you know, I try to be
Mm.
grateful. You know, I'm grateful. I'm
Yes.
grateful for today. I'm grateful I woke up. I'm grateful for whatever it is that, you know, that
Yes.
life has done for me, and you know the opportunities that are coming up. You know, I'm just grateful, just generally. You know, that's my
Mm.
morning routine. So immediately that gets me into a state of gratitude. You know, before I do my prayers, I'm already
Yeah.
grateful. You know, so I'm grateful, and I get into my prayer session, and yeah, and then I welcome
Already
the day.
your mindset is different when you step into
Yeah,
your
you know what
day.
I mean? So
Mm.
now I don't know how
Yeah.
to fight from that perspective. Uh, you know, you're the right person to do the
No,
to do the
I
right thing.
totally get what you mean.
So
Yo,
for
we need
me,
more people doing what you're doing because
yeah, you do, you really do,
we
because
do.
because for me, what that sort of helps me with is I take responsibility for how I feel. I take
Yeah.
responsibility for the thoughts that are passing through my own awareness. And so because of
Mm.
that, there are
And you
certain
also just pick your
conversations.
battles and things that deserve
Yeah,
your
you know what I
energy.
mean? Yeah. So I feel like, which is
Mm.
why, you know, those organizations that exist, those people, that's what they do daily, you know? Whereas for me, I just want to concentrate on my craft. I want to concentrate on being better. I want to concentrate on how I can be impactful positively to other people,
Yeah.
you know?
No, I get what you mean.
Yeah,
And
so
if you're faced with such a situation, you're like, okay, right, lemons, let's make lemonade. We
yes,
need,
you know,
you don't
but
want to
that's
get
not
into it. It's
politically
like,
correct.
oh yeah, you know.
But also, that's not politically correct, you know. You don't say things like that in public. You
Okay.
don't say things
Yo,
like
guys,
that.
I'm
So
sorry. Yo,
yeah, you know.
don't misquote me.
So
Forget I
so
said anything.
it's that it's not for me, you know. I'm not. I don't know the details, but yeah, but
Yeah.
I allow the
But you have
process.
experienced it. Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. I remember when I left City,
Yeah.
it was quite it was different, you know. Things were different. I mean, I was used to being on that show. I was at Isidimo for 7 years.
Mm.
You know, they're playing reruns of Isidimo now. So and
Where's
so,
the money?
yeah, you know. So for me, I'm like, okay,
Okay,
that's
I'm gonna
interesting.
ask for you because hello, sister is not a fighter. I'm gonna ask, where is the money? I'm
So
gonna
yeah,
fight for you.
thank you. I appreciate it. So pretty much that's what it comes down to. Do you know what I mean? So for me,
Yeah.
so after that, I had to really reconsider my life. I once
Yeah.
said in
Yeah.
another interview that I don't know if anything is a career. I can't say it is, because if I'm relying on someone else to create a show and someone else to hire me, who has
Mm.
spent, I don't know how much time on a particular show that they've done or a particular film, I don't know if I would
Yeah.
call that a career, or rather, is it a or is that a business? You know?
Yeah. I
So for
get
me,
what you're saying.
so for me, that's my approach. My approach is that,
Mm.
look, the actual work that we're doing as actors, it's a business more than it is a necessarily like you're not really
Career.
employed, but at the same time, I don't want to be quoted saying that because I do want the laws to change. Do you know what I
Mm.
mean? For so
To
that
make
other
it a
people,
career. Yeah.
yeah, so that it can be a career for some people, so that
Yeah.
it can be employment for some people. But for me,
Mm.
I'm happy for it to be a business because
Yeah.
it means for me that I'm not tied down to anything. I can really, really, really be an actor and do other things as well. Do you know what I mean? Which is what my life is all about. You know what I mean? I want to be
Yeah.
able to run a business. I want to be able to do my voice artistry. I want to be able to do my music. I want to be able to do other things, get into business without anyone feeling the need that they own my time. I don't want that.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
So, on a lighter note, you just said music. Tell me more about
Yes.
that. Like, that's a side of your life that we're not really seeing much of.
No, right? You know what? My music is more behind the scenes, man, for now. You know,
Mm.
I've been working on music since I was 12 years old.
Wow.
So yeah, it's so funny. My brother is the one who actually pursued a singing career. I didn't.
Mm. So, it's a
So
gazini, the thing.
you could say
Yeah.
that.
Gotta just perform.
You could say that. So yeah, uh, Ovuzumzi is okay. You know him by Vusinova. So he's the
Yeah.
one
I
who
don't think he'd appreciate you calling Busumzi.
I know, right? That's what I call him.
What's the number?
I know. But anyway,
Yeah.
so I remember when he first came out, and he's like, no, people know him as Brucey, so he needs the name, he needs something added to the name. So he called
Mm.
me up, so I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? For me, like a Nova is literally the birth of a new star, and that's how I visioned it
Yeah.
to be at the time. So.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, so that's pretty much for me music is it's my DNA, man.
Yeah.
I'm always even when I debrief, I'm always on the piano, I'm always playing something, I'm always writing songs, I'm always expressing myself, writing poetry, or I'm in studio, I'm
Mm.
in studio, either I'm in studio with my brother, his artist, and we're coming up with ideas, and things like that. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. Maybe one of them. I don't know. Maybe I might surprise you
Good.
later on in this
Surprise
year.
us. Surprise us, please. We are
Okay.
waiting.
Okay. Okay.
I would have thought you'd have launched something. Would like to
I know,
serenade us
right?
with something. And then it's like, yeah, this is actually Sister's song. Dun dun. Ah, come on.
Wait. I do it right now in this moment.
I am saying, please, Ushati must serenade somebody with your song.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
then,
Okay.
plot twist, it's Sister's upcoming. Dun dun,
Wow. That's a nice idea. No, really,
right?
it is. It is. That's a nice idea. Yeah.
Mm.
I might propose that. I might propose that. But you never
Please
know.
do.
You
We are
never know.
waiting.
The next interview we have, it will be about my album or
Yes.
some song that's
Thank
out
you. Yes, from your lips to God's ears.
there. Amen.
So, what can we expect from you in the future? What can we look forward to? What are you looking forward to?
You know what? My future. This is how my future looks like now. Maybe between now and the next 5 years, I think.
Mm-hmm.
More writing for me
Yeah.
now. Yeah, more writing, coming up with shows, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's pretty much what I'm working on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, character development. That's pretty much what I'm doing. And so yeah, for now until yeah, like I'm saying, that's like my midterm goal. Next 5 years or
Mm.
so. Working on a show, and yeah, let's see what
Oh,
happens.
oh, yes. We're
And
looking
and
forward to that.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I've learned a lot in the industry, and I've been writing anyway. I'm always writing, even if I'm writing
Yeah.
poetry or song or character, you know.
Mm.
So yeah, so that's I'm gonna be a lot more prominent in the industry itself with not just acting, but just overall, like I'm saying,
Overall, yeah.
yeah, overall creating, overall writing, overall producing. Yeah,
Mm.
and also helping people who are coming up, you know. I
Yeah,
was in a
yeah, yeah.
yeah, doing that as well. I love doing that. I love mentoring. I have um I have a bunch of students who who I'm working with, um,
Mm.
doing student films, just mentoring them, really, with
Oh, that's
directors,
great.
producers, writers, art directors, makeup artists, like bunch of young people who are looking to find their place in the industry, So I'm also doing a
No,
lot of
that's
mentoring.
great. Because
Yeah,
the values do need to flow from the top
yeah,
down,
most
you know?
definitely. Yeah, and I think that fulfills me. That means it's for
Yeah.
some. Because for me, it took me a while to really, really embrace myself in the industry and embrace the industry itself as a whole. I always only saw
Mm.
myself as an actor, and it was just about me. But coming up now, I realize that there are a lot of young people who are in different institutions studying something and majoring, editing, directing, cinematography,
Yeah.
performance, and things like that. And they have dreams, you know.
Yeah.
And once they hit the industry, reality hits,
And they just need
So
someone to help them harness those ropes and,
yeah, and I think also they just need, just a mentor, someone to say,
Yeah.
Okay,
And someone
uh,
to just keep it real with them. Because sometimes, you walk into these things with a fairy tale,
yeah,
butterfly story, bubblegum story, but you need someone to mentor you and also show you the ugly side and the good side of it to just give you a real big picture. So
that is so
you
true.
know what you're walking into.
Yeah, yeah. So that's pretty
Mm.
much, yeah, one of the things I'm doing now. So yeah, yeah, I have to at least give back somewhere, and
Mm.
sort of like, I guess I realized that it's not only about me, but it's about,
Yeah.
yeah, it's about the message. It's about the reasons behind uh, art, the reasons behind
Mm.
why we do the things that we do, and to
Yeah.
not get caught up in the materialism and the materiality of things, but to rather invest in the things that bring about the material.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yo, this has been so nice.
It's been very interesting, eh?
For someone who's never done a podcast, no, you're a pro.
I was
You are not
hungry. I was
stuttering.
hungry.
You are not talking too much. Like the conversation was just flowing, man. No, thank you so much. I really appreciated this.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you for inviting me. Thank you so much.
No, it's a pleasure. It's really a pleasure. And thank you so much for sharing your time with us. I know you're busy and, things are hectic, but thank you for taking this time out just to have a chat with us.
Ngozi Dube. Thank you so much. That's
You're
basically that.
welcome.
That's it. Looks like Ngozi Dube. Thank you, Dube.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to that lovely catch up session that we just had with Sisa Hewana, aka Hlati Mavandla. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I really hope it was worth the wait. Because, yeah, it's been long overdue, and the girl has been MIA, but I apologize once again. And yeah, I'm not gonna make any promises that I'm gonna be back soon, but I'm going to work really hard to be back soon. But yeah, I really appreciate each and every single one of you and the support that you've continued to show the late night sessions with Bean. Yeah, may God bless each and every single one of you. And yeah, we'll see each other on the flip side. Thank you so much for tuning in from your Bean. with the biggest love.